Alrighty, guys, welcome back here to the European Spring Championship Qualifier number 1 with Team Sandwich Monkeys versus Monkeys of Storm, currently 1-up for the sandwiches.
Sandwich yes. I was like, wait, no, you can't say that. They're both sandwiches. No, they're both monkeys.
They're both monkeys.
Both monkeys. I feel like I'm watching Donkey Kong 64 all over again.
Oh, yeah?
So many monkeys.
How often did you watch that game?
Whenever I played it, Jake, I would watch myself play it.
Oh, man.
Best Donkey Kong Country, while we're talking about monkeys.
Best Donkey Kong Country? Isn't that one game?
It's a series of games.
Best Donkey Kong game or Donkey Kong Country? Because Donkey Kong Country is one of the games.
Answer the question, Jake.
I personally...
You're dancing around here. Donkey Kong
personally
Country
remember-
1, 2, or 3.
Oh, I don't even remember those games that well. Yeah.
What?
Well, let's explain what they are. They're simple side scrollers where you collect bananas. There's not a lot of depth to them. It's pretty similar to playing Sonic, and I preferred Sonic as a kid. Was never a big Donkey Kong Country fan. Never really got into it. I'd rather play Mega Man or Sonic. I actually didn't like Nintendo games all that much as a kid. I preferred the other consoles.
Hold on, let me go to the kitchen and get a knife so you can just kill me. This is awful! What? What?
I'm sorry, Kubi.
If fine, like you don't like Donkey Kong Country. That's one thing. You don't.
I liked N64 a lot. I didn't like the Super NES that
So
much.
did you like?
I was a big fan of
DK64
Super Mario
then?
64. I liked TK64.
That's just as bad though. It's just going around collecting stuff. That game wasn't even hard.
The gameplay was different.
We're done. We're done here. We're done. This conversation is over.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this later.
Melee, one of the best games ever made. That's a great game.
That was GameCube.
It's true. Smash 64 is pretty fun.
Do you see how angry your chat is?
Yeah, they're pretty hype. They're pretty mad. Rusty T, thanks for the sub hype.
Ugh. So you didn't play any Donkey Kong Countries?
I played them. I don't remember them. I remember Funky Kong. He was cool. Cranky Kong was cool. Cool dudes.
Team Sandwich Monkeys versus Monkeys of the Storm. Game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Muradin ban. Sagara ban. KT first pick. Are we going to see the Tyrande? Tassadar? Both?
Could be. It's possible. I'm not sure if Sandwich Monkeys likes to go that way. We saw that from what? Liquid that did that? The Tyrande Tassadar first picks? All right, Thrall. Opening up with him again. We saw the power of Sundering.
Thrall Tyrande? Okay. She has giant ears. I don't know why I'm just like they go off the screen.
She's a night elf. What do you want? I'm so offended for all night elves.
You know, can we talk about how like evolution works for a second?
Yeah.
Do you know what ears are for?
They can hear real good.
No, they can't. Those aren't trapping any more sound.
Yeah, they are. They can hear birds in the sky with that kind of reach.
Okay, all right.
Just
I
flapping
don't
their
even know what to
wings,
say to you
making a
right
little
now.
wub
I don't
sound.
even know what to say to you.
Your cat has effectively stolen my water. She keeps coming over drinking it. I have not taken a sip. She's just like, this is now my water. Guys, someone mail me a desk where I can put my water on it, because my actual production desk just has too much equipment on it to store water on it. It's way too risky.
All right, taking the Tassadar away. I like that. You do that or you're banning out, I think.
Yeah, it's a good call, especially when you consider that the power that they got out of that in the last game. They have a lot of defensive options with Mighty Gust and Force Wall available, and a lot of times, I mean,
Stitches.
I just really like the style of play because when you initiate with Sundering, you have a response in multiple situations. So, Stitch is banned. The respect, man. This shift is like overnight.
It is. What was the last like massive shift that we saw in? There was I feel like there was another one that happened. It was like an overnight shift
Where like Zagara is just like, hey
Yep,
guys, I'm
yep,
here.
Zagara's top tier. Top tier goes from not being
I don't know.
picked at
I
all.
don't know where it's just like,
Yeah.
yep,
That
Zagara's
one makes me
everywhere.
angry.
Yeah. Diablo! BKB. I mean, Diablo was banned last game by Monkeys of the Storm, and BKB does like this hero, and you talk about the power of Diablo Tyrande. Shadow Charge, overpower, and you land that Lunar Flare, that hero is going to die 9 times out of 10. So now they have to think very defensively who can peel effectively versus this style of play. I almost prefer Johanna over ETC or Muradin. Well, Muradin's banned, but over ETC, yeah, there's Johanna.
Yo. Listen to this, Jake. Are you ready? It's gonna sound a little crazy. Okay. This is like Bloodlust tier crazy, okay? I need to wait to see what their final pick is before I unveil this diabolical plan.
Oh, yeah? I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting
I'm
too.
so ready. You gotta say it, Kubi.
No, I can't, because it could be completely flubbed. And I'm trying to think if it still
You're
makes
so
sense.
full of it. He has no idea what's gonna happen.
I don't know who Monkeys of the Storm is going to pick. I don't know. Detention.
What?
Could cut it with a
You
knife.
think you know what sandwiches is going for?
I'm not. There's like a 50% chance of it.
Brightwing?
No.
I want to see Brightwing played today, but Europe hates me.
I don't think. No, we're not getting a Brightwing. You're lucky you got your Rhaegar game.
That was yesterday. Oh, today. We didn't get Bloodlust, though.
No.
Tyrael.
Nope, never mind.
Tell me your theory.
I was thinking they didn't really have a lot of dive. It's Infernal Shrines. Slight argument to be made
For Ravenous?
for the Hamabama.
Oh, Sergeant Hammer.
But the rest of their comp's kind of divey. So I don't know if that doesn't necessarily play that well with it. You might want to have like better protect. It could work.
we saw Bob Ross Fan Club
They did.
play Sergeant Hammer on Infernal Shrines at Heroes
But
Rising.
I think like once you go Tyrael, it's like there's too much mobility to like get to the back line quickly and harass. So it no longer makes sense.
Okay.
So I wanted to wait. That is my bloodlust. People obscurely picking Hammer, and if the day that it's picked, and I'm casting it and I don't call it, forever shame to the family.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Steel Dawn who would disown you.
Yep, pretty much. Rightfully so.
Mr. Leo Leoric, the Skeleton King, has been picked up.
2 half supports are now the solo supports. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tyrael. Obviously, he's got the shields too. Something to keep in mind. Thrall, Raynor, Leo. They have self-sustain. It's an interesting one, though. Again, an odd draft. Jake, who won the draft? Who won the draft?
You know, it's actually really kind of hard to tell because there's a fair amount of sustainability on the side of Monkeys of the Storm, especially when you consider like those big engagements that could happen and then the Sanctification follow-up to deny a good bit of damage. I'm curious if Diablo is going to go for Lightning Breath or Apocalypse. Probably Apocalypse just because of the power of stuns right now, and that's just gives you so much. You force the enemy team to scatter, and that's a good time to capitalize on 1 to 2 kills if you can. But the blinds are going to be really good from Johanna versus Raynor and Thrall. Tacidar's solo support is going to be tough to keep up with the damage. And I guess my biggest beef with this composition on the side of Monkeys of the Storm is the fact that it's Tassadar Falstad. So a lot of the times when you have Mighty Gust, it allows you to kind of like sustain your team and like get ready for like the re-engage, right? You fall back and with Tranquility or whatever and your team heals up. Tassadar doesn't really do that. He doesn't really work well for a long, drawn-out fight. So they're just going to have to outright leave and concede their quest to get the objective or whatever in those kind of situations.
So your vote goes to the Sandwich Monkeys?
Yes, it does.
I like Monkeys of the Storm's draft.
And why?
And why? They have enough control, enough sustain. Their damage output like you said, you mentioned the blinds. I think, especially when it comes to structure of the map as well, they're going to be able to make better plays. There's also enough like escape as well. Like you can't really isolate Tassadar, Tyrael, Johanna. Like there's only really one good target. Like you're gonna have to make sure your initiations are clean. Falstad, if his reactions are on point, he can get out of the way with barrel rolls. And then past 16 with the arcane barrier. I don't know.
That's true.
We'll see though. They're very close, and they're very unorthodox drafts.
Yeah, could be cool. I mean, I'm pumped for this. It is match point for Team Sandwich Monkeys, currently up 1-0. Monkeys of the Storm, can they bring it back?
Monkey Melee.
Would you play a Smash Brothers version that was just Donkey Kong characters? King K. Rool would be in it.
Oh, King K. Rool. That was like one of like the theory crafted characters
they've
that would
been
have
theory crafting him for years,
yeah,
man.
it'd be so fun though. Throw crowns at people
Dude.
and cannonballs and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be good times. All right, over on the left side, and this is for Monkeys of the Storm, so we need to swap. Okay, we have Dabaz is going to be on Falstad. Kessel will be playing the Kael'thas. Nanda on Tyrael. Shihu on the Johanna. And then Bims is going to be playing Tassadar.
On the right side, Team Sandwich Monkeys with the ADRD playing Rainer. Scheider going to be playing Thrall Sport Billy on Tyrande Snow. Going to be playing Leoric and BKB on Diablo, riding a spider. That is the creepiest, scariest.
That's awesome. Lots of spikes.
Yeah.
It's going full spike.
I wouldn't want to touch that.
All
right, same strat, going straight for a tower, but they expect it. They do just the same, so the experience will be evened out right now. Tyrande shoot the Sentinel just to connect there on Nanda, confirming that they're hanging out down there. And who's winning the race?
In terms of 1v1 fights, the advantage is definitely going to go to Sandwich Monkeys.
Early game, yeah.
Yeah, they have the better early game, so I like this call from them to do this. Oh,
Wow! That's a lot of damage, and Falstad flew straight up to the top to try to contest Thrall, so this is now a 4v4, and Leoric will be able to get back to safety.
All right, so that said, the fact that they win the early game fights, anytime like they're trading out structures, it's always going to be the benefit to them. It's essentially accelerating, pushing them to the late game, right? So if they can avoid that, that's always a great opening for them. So regardless of who wins the push, it's still a better trade because they're avoiding the enemy team.
Okay. Thrall, Falstad. I mean, there's a lot of self-sustain for Thrall. Falstad can lane relatively well, but he is going to have to play very much on the passive side, and he's actually going back. He knows this is a safe time where he's only going to miss one minion of soak. Yes, he just barely misses it. Ooh, ADRD.
Yeah, a bit low.
Adrenaline Rush
Quite a
has
bit of
been
damage.
used. Cooldown for another.
So if we have the win for Monkeys of the Storm, the fact that they managed to push out the bottom lane, will move favorably for them.
That's true.
Perhaps
That's a
even
good
taking
point.
it forward. Depends. It really does.
Yeah, it's a very good point, though. Just kind of the luck of the draw here for this first spawn. Falstad can also fly down in rotation much more quickly, but they'd be sacrificing a lot of damage to top lane, assuming Thrall did stick around.
Take a look. You got to keep an eye on Kael'thas' positioning. He's always going to be sitting a lot further back than you think you'd need to. He's probably the one target for the rest of the people that are trying to contest this that would be very susceptible.
Full owl build, piercing and power. That's generally how you see Tyrande played as a solo support.
So to blow up ADRD, a good dodge in that, so they're a bit low on stuns for the time being.
Thrall has rotated. Falstad could fly down, but this is now a 4v5. You see a bit of a backwards posture. Falstad looking to fly in pretty soon. Just going to try to soak this wave of experience before he
Maybe not. I think they're giving it up.
Yeah, it's too late. Yeah, you're right.
That's interesting. I think that they probably should have tried to contest some more. They had a pretty good start. They matched it up to about 20 minions taken. But like I said, if they managed to pick up that first Immortal, Punisher, sorry, they're putting themselves in a really, really good position. So they just baited over the wall. The defense is good, but I think that they could have seen themselves grabbing a fort, which would have done a lot to accelerate them to that later portion of the game, which they're really trying to get to.
Big shadow charge there, but that's Johanna. She's not an easy target to pick off. Lunar Flare will connect. Iron Skin just a moment too late, and a Pierce getting the kill there on Kael'thas in the back line. 2 kills for nothing in favor of Team Sandwich Monkeys.
Gonna lose 2 heroes? That's a fort.
Yeah, probably.
Done. Yep.
Okay, well, Leo's going to go soak the mid lane. 1 level lead for Sandwich Monkeys, and if, like you said, if they do in fact manage to pick up this fort, that will propel even further forward.
Yep. And Ontario trying to come down to defend this. I think if they really want to push the issue, they can absolutely take this without too much risk. Flipping them over. Toronto with the stun, not quite timed out as well as it could. Are they really backing up? Wow.
It's not worth the risk of losing a few heroes. The rotation here.
Yeah.
Big Condemn going to come down any moment, but Falsa dies in the top to Thrall in the 1v1. BKB very low. The heals from Toronto. Not that effective early game. The overpower into the Shadow Charge will end up spelling his own death, but Johanna going down herself.
Yeah. Bit of an overextension. They're going to take this opportunity to take these Merc camps in the bottom. A whole level lead at this point. This should secure them this bottom fort.
Oh, yeah. They're in a great spot right now. Thrall just getting that. So I like his, like, you know, just the idea to hide for a little while, just in case that rotation did in fact happen.
Also forces a bit more cautious play because you don't have eyes on him. You don't know if he's rotating.
Just gonna go
they
straight
do have that
in.
more rotation-centric build. So this next one is going to be mid. They got to keep an eye on that
Boys, the
experience.
Khazar camp. 1 more siege, which should be enough, but the Condemn stalling them out and buying enough time to save this bottom fort. A big save here in the bottom play. That's denying a lot of experience, which will put Sandwich Monkeys so close to their level 10 heroics, and that's a really important denial.
Picking up a Mercenary camp right before this Immortal phase going down is the smart pick. They do get the lead up on this. In case you guys are wondering about the Toronto build, the Empower plus Pierce. If you take the cooldown reduction, well, which is level 1 talent, level 13 with the Overflowing Light, you can put out quite a bit of healing numbers. So that's a great stun to start this fight off.
Yeah. Okay, Diablo going forward. He's looking for that flip, but Tassadar uses Dimensional Shift to get away. A big gravity lapse there on Snow, but not quite enough damage to blow him up. Bottom fort still not down. The next minion wave did come and deny its collapse. But level 10 is still around the corner here for...
Yeah, which is precisely why we see them backing up. They're just bullying every time there's an engagement. It's just really quick. They just move in and start to just bully with the better damage output they have. Toronto makes a big difference. Tassadar is gonna help a little bit later on in the game in terms of like shielding and like positional with the force wall, but early game Toronto dominates that. Okay, you just want to compare the supports.
Sundering, March, Shadowstalk, Hyperion, and Diablo. Is he going for Lightning Breath? He's thinking about it. We might actually see it. Generally speaking, in the current meta, we see Apocalypse more frequently, and it is going to remain the same.
Okay. They gotta be. They're both okay. Like they both work really well with.
Usually, they need some kind of setup for
yeah,
Lightning Breath.
Whether it would be Entomb, like you could maybe make it work out with Sundering. It's not easy, but all right, that's fort number 2 going. Well, no. Excuse me, fort number 1. Still have 200 HP on this fort in the bottom lane.
And actually, this is really good from Nanda. He's pushing out this bottom lane. He's buying that space, even weakening that bottom fort on the side of Sandwich Monkeys.
Still in the level 10. Have to be careful. That's 2 keep towers out. A lot more experience.
Okay, Shadowstalk, US Heroics just now being picked up. Mighty Gust Phoenix use immediately. They do have Bless Shield, Force Wall, and Sanctification, but that's a big Sundering into Apocalypse. Apocalypse a little bit late, but it is enough to lock down Tiro before he can pop that Sanctification.
Yeah, I was able to get out of that. It was pretty good. If they can get just a single hero for the time being, again, the positional advantage quite a bit stronger for them. And there's very few scenarios where Monkeys of the Storm is going to try to push a fight within the next, 60 seconds or so, right?
Yeah. Bottom fort did go down. I think they threw a Hammerang or something over the wall. Maybe it's just a penetrating round of Rainer. I'm not sure. But Condemn here on 3 targets. Big AoE damage. Force Wall locking them in place. But Thrall looks like he's ready to re-engage the self-sustained BKB. Buying a lot of time in the front line. But he's super, super low and does end up dying. Tyrael entering the fight from the top lane with
Bims.
Yeah, Bims is low.
Well, all right. Color me impressed. I didn't think that there would be too many scenarios. We wouldn't see the Punishers popping up that quickly, but they forced the fight, and no surprise to see that they won based on the resources that were spent in the previous exchange. Don't think that they'll be able to get any takedowns, so it was a smart move. I guess maybe more of a misplay for Sandwich
Okay.
Monkeys to just try to be hanging around a little bit too aggressively.
Sundering just came off cooldown. They still have Shadowstalk if they're really feeling confident, but Bims and team make it behind the wall. It will be a top lane Punisher this time around for that shrine. What kind of shrine was it? I didn't see. It's a
Mortar.
Yeah, Mortar.
Okay, they're going to take this quick mercenary camp, try to get a little bit of split push as those fights. Oh, and they know this. They know something's up. Nanda trying to get into deny. Not going to happen. Have they overextended this point? Gravity Lapse going down in 80 He's taking a lot of damage. He will be able to get out in time.
Big kills from Tyrande coming out. Clutch. Haven't used Shadowstalk yet. Have to use it right now to stay alive through this sanctification use, and BKB will end up falling.
A little
Just
curious
doesn't
as
have
to why it wasn't used.
Yeah, she has no mana, that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's
Good
why.
call, good call.
Yeah, I was confused as well. I'm like, where is the Shadowstalk, and just not enough mana in the tank.
Obviously not a favorable exchange for the Sandwich Monkeys. This should give a decent head start on this shrine, but maybe not. Thrall's already in place.
Overflowing Light's going to make a huge difference here in this game.
Yeah.
They did change it a little bit so she has a slightly more healing early game than previously, and they nerfed Overflowing Light just to balance it out. But it's still a huge upgrade for her.
Pushing back Sandwich Monkeys. We've got the positional advantage, at least for the time being. They do have a talent here. Like we're saying, Overflowing Light.
With
double Giant Killer.
Yeah.
Crushing Hope.
That's going to be a lot of additional damage and a lot more.
A lot of
gold
tank
potential.
buster abilities.
Yeah, exactly. And they're already sitting up, 15 of those skeletons on the shrine, and it looks like it's just going to be a push here out of Monkeys of the Storm.
Interesting that they made the call that quickly just to
Leave.
abandon this, yeah. And an even better play, honestly, from Sandwich Monkeys to just go and push this. Just trying to get a little bit more value out of the Punisher that they're very likely to get.
And Snow is like slowing this down a good amount, just making them not feel fully confident. They backed up for a little bit. Forest wall down, he can just go right through that. He is a ghost.
Wow, they're even actually able to clean it up ahead of time. This could probably be a keep wall at the very least.
Oh yeah, that's a full health Punisher.
Oh, they gotta be careful. This
The
flanked
gust.
rotation here. This could be quite scary.
They need Leoric. He's almost
Divine
there.
Shield,
Punisher
Pressure
jumping
Shield.
in. Lunar Flare connects. Just barely,
no.
not enough.
Oh,
but
no.
the Apocalypse is doing massive damage. Hyperion raining above. Kael'thas and Tassadar have both fallen, and this Punisher has nearly full health, and it's on the keep already.
That's two heroes down for the next 20 seconds. Shouldn't be the end of the game just yet, but it is close. A single more mistake out of the Monkeys of the Storm, and they might find an early exit to this qualifier. The blind gets thrown out right away. Like you said, the Immortal's having a lot of HP. If they're able to get this takedown, Johanna has to be very careful. BKB ends up falling, making a trade for double warriors here. Still, though, putting a lot of pressure onto this core. The shields are down.
They're
The
trying
boss-
to end it here.
I think they have it.
Very little mana in the tank for
Oh, the stun of the Immortal's going in.
Almost enough. 80 RD, very low. Adrenaline keeping him alive.
Oh, no. This is really close.
Is this a throw?
They're not going to throw.
They
No,
have
they
some-
have- they got it.
Leoric.
They got it. They got it.
Yeah.
They got it. Wow.
GG, a 2-0 clean sweep from Sandwich Monkeys versus Monkeys of the Storm.
This happens at the end of every single game we've cast.
What?
These like weird pushes that happen right at the end. It's like they get the objective, and they're moving in like towards like threatening a keep. Every single time, it's like, oh, they're making a play. Maybe they'll get the keep wall. Maybe if they're lucky, they get a couple kills, they'll take the keep, and then the game just ends.
Yeah,
It's like every time.
a lot of those today.
It's like players on these on the other teams, like the victims of it. They're in the situation like we got to defend this keep, and then they overextend,
Yeah.
trying to defend it, and just lose the game. It's happened 4 times at least.
That
today.
Apocalypse was a big part of that, too.
Apocalypse
It just,
brutal.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a really good position to go in and flank, but Johanna was missing a lot of like HP. She was already below half HP before she made it in. That was so many of those weird positions, though. Like we've just not really had any late game.
It's true. The games have all... We had one 20-plus minute game, I think, today. That's it? Maybe?
When was that?
I don't know. Maybe we didn't.
I,
Average game length has certainly been
Quite low, yeah.
quite low for the matches today. Stitches, did he have 100% win rate today? I think he did. Stitches has won 5
on
games.
this stream.
on this stream.
Yeah.
5 games, 5-0 for Stitches today. Pretty cool fact. All of the VODs are already up on YouTube. I'm not certain that we have another match that we can cast, but we are going to try to do so regardless.
Yeah, I guess we'll go to a break.
Yep.
Try to get a match sorted out. We'll come back and update you guys regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, we'll be back regardless. But it feels like they just said that Team Sandwich Monkeys, their next game will not be played till tomorrow. So they're going to play Google tomorrow. So they're not continuing today.
Okay.
But some of the quarterfinals matches will be. But it is rather late in Europe and
Europe land.
And
Yeah.
it's like 9 hours in for a lot of these teams.
True. The
So
fatigue is real.
yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we'll be back pretty soon with an update as to what's going to happen next. Stay tuned.